Hello my loves and welcome back to Maiadvice. Today's topic is something, I don't know, I feel like I've spoken about it a lot, but maybe not in its entirety. And so after, it's been quite a long time too, so you know what, maybe things will be a little bit easier for me to say now. So today's video, if you didn't already know by the title, is about my time in a mental asylum or a mental hospital, for a less harsh word, you know. Specifically one here in Boston. I was hospitalized at McLean in Belmont for about a little over 2 weeks. Little over half a month, yeah. Whew. So, let me give you guys some context. So, I have 3 mental illnesses. I have bipolar disorder, I have anxiety, and I have depression. I'm gonna make another video that I go more into depth and detail about which specific ones I have, because what I just said were the general umbrella term for it. And I'll explain more what each of those looks like for me, but that's like a different video. That's a little bit too long to do here, so just know that I have those 3. But also know that I did not really had been diagnosed or treated for the bipolar disorder until I was hospitalized. So when I exited high school, I thought that college was gonna be it. Like, college was what I had been working towards, my own freedom, my own place, like responsibilities all on me, which I don't really mind. I actually like that. And I thought that it was gonna make me happy, because I wasn't happy in high school for numerous reasons. There was a lot of issues going on in my home. I had suffered some sexual assaults and trauma that I wasn't dealing with. I had good friends, but like, it took me a long time to get them. And it was very rough. It wasn't kind of rough, like, let me not sugarcoat shit. Like, it was fucking rough for me, okay? And I thought that college was gonna be my sweet escape. I was gonna be able to do everything that I wanted to do and just work towards my dreams. So I go to Northeastern University, and I was lucky enough to come with my best friend from back in Chicago, which is where I'm from. I'm saying all these things like you know me. I'm from Chicago originally, and then I moved here to Boston. I do have family here in Boston. I have my dad and my stepmom, but my dad and I aren't that close, really. I'm actually closer with my stepmom, or at least I was closer with her during the time when I moved here, and my mom was back in Chicago during that first year of college, but then she moved to London. So then and my mom was who I was most close with. She's the one who raised me. So there was lots of loneliness going on. Like, there wasn't really a place for me to go back to in Chicago by the end of my first year of college. My father and I were just kind of like, we were never close like that, and it was just, it felt not estranged, but you know, like he wasn't someone I could call and rely on and talk to him about my emotions. And my stepmom was busy with her 2 kids. They had a lot of health problems that she needed to take care of. She was working full-time at Northeastern, and her job is extremely difficult, and so she wasn't somebody that I could comfortably feel like talking to without feeling like a burden, which is a huge thing for me, is that I often feel like a burden whenever I tell people how I feel and confide in them. There are very few people that I feel like I can confide to without feeling like I'm weighing them down and I'm just dumping a bunch of emotional shit on them. And you know, you need people, you need more than 2 people like that in your life, or else like it just gets to be too much. You know, life is hard. Life is hard as is, without all the other bullshit I had to go through. But so around the beginning of the middle of the first semester for second year of college, I got a boyfriend. I met him on OkCupid. But I had never had a boyfriend until that point, and so I did not know how to act. I did not know what to do with myself. Like, before I met him, I was already going through I had just finished a bender, that was the cause of like why am I blanking on all the terminology right now? But I had just finished like an episode of my bipolar disorder where I'm like, oh, why am I forgetting all the words? You know what, I'm just gonna like put it like here. But I had just finished like a high point episode. Before that, it'd been like months of just straight depression, and then I just lost my mind and was like, you know what, like, I'm just not gonna be depressed, so how am I not gonna be depressed? I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna fuck anybody I want, which is what I did. And so bad. And then I just finished, like, after like some things happened with that, I was like, ooh, slow down. So then I was like, okay, let me take a break. And I'm like, how am I gonna make myself stable? You know what? I'll get a boyfriend. Do you see the issue? So when I got into the relationship with him, I did not know how to act. I was like, ooh, somebody loves me. Someone cares about me. Someone wants to take care of me. Ooh. Never experienced this shit before. Like, I was like, wow, I've been missing out. But the thing is, because of that, I made him my one and only source of happiness, which was so unfair to him and so toxic and bad and just emotionally immature of me to do. Because at that point in my life, he really was my only source of happiness. Like, and it's not to say like screw my friends, but remember, I feel like a burden talking to people. And you know, like, I do have a couple people who I don't feel like a burden to initially, but as time goes on, because they're the only ones I talk to, I'm like, I know you're dealing with other things. You don't have time for me to continuously being like la 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 la. So yeah, my boyfriend and I, our relationship wasn't healthy. So it wasn't healthy just because I put him as my only source of happiness, but he also had a lot of issues that he hadn't worked out. And he wasn't really ready to be in a relationship, in all honesty, because he was still extremely hurt from some past things. He had trust issues, anger issues. There was a lot of hypocrisy going on. And when I say anger issues, I'm not saying like he hurt me. I'm just saying like his temper, he couldn't control it. It would flare up over the dumbest shit. And it would like, he would escalate situations constantly because he would just be acting on emotion and impulse. But he would never laid hands on me. No. And so, like, I was also going through like some trauma from being raped and sexually assaulted, and like, he wasn't ready to deal with somebody who was crashing in life. And he was like, he wasn't sinking. He was like, you know, tooting along a little boat. But like, I fucking crashed into his hull and then just watched the water fill, and we both sank, like, legitimately. And so, God, so many things happened. So like, that's kind of the relationship that I was in. I felt, so like, here's what's going on in my life up until the point of going into the hospital. I'm in a toxic relationship where both of us are emotionally immature and relying completely on the other person and enabling bad behaviors and impulse-driven decisions. I feel extremely lonely because I don't have anyone that I feel like I can talk to. And also, my family is spread out and I don't have anyone near me. My mom's in a different continent. 3, I'm suffering from 3 mental illnesses, one of which I don't really confirm. Like, I'm like, yeah, I probably have bipolar disorder, but I'd never been diagnosed by the doctor yet. And so I was like, I'm just crazy. And also, when you have bipolar disorder and people don't know what's going on, they just think you're moody as shit. And then you just think you're moody as shit. So I just thought I was depressed and moody as shit. And anxious. Woof. I was suffering from trauma due to sexual assault and rape. Ooh. Yeah. So those are the 4 things going on in my life, up to the point of leaving to the hospital. So, something big happened at my job and I got fired for it, and, yeah, girl's a criminal. When I'm not joking. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too into that. If you know, you know. If you don't, maybe one day I will say it on YouTube, but not today. And after that, I was kind of just like, life, I'm done. Like, after that, I was kind of just like, I had reached a point of self-hatred that I had never reached before. And I had reached a point of like, I just don't care. Like, I had been long since given up on my passions, and I was very apathetic towards everything, and I was just like, I was in a if I die, I die. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just do it myself. And so at my boyfriend's house, ooh, I just like to fuck people up, huh? I wrote like all my suicide letters to the 5 important people in my life, and then I bought mad pills. I bought like the big thing of Tylenol that was like 300 mg, 500 capsules, and then I bought like 2 things of Advil, 300 capsules, 250 mg each, and I swallowed them all, downed it with Gatorade, and then just laid in his bed and waited for death to take me. And like, I'm dumb, because I really thought that this was gonna do it. First of all, death by pills is not easy to do. One, if you're gonna do it, you can't drink it with like Gatorade, you need to mix alcohol. 2, more likely than not, you're not gonna kill yourself, you're just gonna cause severe like internal damage, and you'll live and just be in pain and have to have a lot of shit. Like, you might have to have surgery, stomach pumping, you can cause some paralysis, like you could fuck yourself up and then still be alive. Like, bruh, I'd be like, do you know how upset I'd be? Like, I can't even fucking die, right? Like, so because I drank it with Gatorade, like, I just, like, my stomach was like, and she just shot all of that shit right back up out of my mouth. I had, like, I spent the entire rest of the day in the bathroom just vomiting, like I projectile vomited into the toilet and like the surrounding area, like the floor, the bathtub. I had to clean it all up. Oh my god, like, it was bad and it hurt so bad, and I was like, oh my god, like, it was the worst experience. It hurts so bad, especially because I'm just crying, because I'm like, I just want to die, but no, I can't even do that shit. Like, it was a 4. And so then he comes home, I'm like, I'm just sick. I don't really tell him what's going on. And then the next day I just tell him, because I'm like, you know what, why lie? So I tell him, like, yeah, I tried to kill myself yesterday and it didn't work. So, and he's like, as he rightfully should be. He stays with me, talks with me, and then like he has to go to work, and then he goes to work, it's fine. And he's like, you're not gonna do anything. I'm like, I don't even have the energy, like, I can't get up, I'm in so much pain. And so then it kind of like wears off in the next day or 2, the effects of all the pills, and then we both go back to my place on campus, and he stays with me for like a week or like a few days, like 3 or 4 days, until he needs to go back to work. And then he's like, okay, please don't do anything, you know, while I'm gone, like, I'm gonna be back. But I'd already been since decided that I was gonna, my next attempt would be with a noose. So I had already bought the rope, I'd already made the noose, so I just waited for him to leave. And then after he left, like, I was just sitting at my desk crying, holding the noose, like, just getting out all the tears, because I was about to do it. And then I hear a knock on my door, and it's campus police. He had called it in the Uber to work, and they were like, okay, we're coming in if you don't open the door. And they're like, okay. They took assess the situation. We're like, we're gonna take you to the hospital. We can do it easy, or we can do it hard. So I was like, all right, I'll just walk. So they took me to the hospital, right near campus, Brigham Women's Hospital, and then from there they like ran the tests to make sure like the pills hadn't affected my stomach, and like by the grace of God somehow I had no internal damaging, maybe because I vomited everything up so quickly. And so then they just were like, all right, well, we're sending you to McLean and you have no choice. And I was like, oof. Oh, while I was in the ER though, my friend Candace came to visit me. So like, shout out to Candace, because the fuck, like hello, that's a real one. People who come to visit you in the hospital, they're the real ones. They sent me there around like 1 a.m. Carlos had come to sit with me, my boyfriend. Did I say his name? I mean, I've said his name in other videos, so. Carlos had come to stay with me in the hospital after work, and then when they were gonna send me to McLean, that's when he went home. They put me in an ambulance, strapped me down. Ooh, that was a terribly frightening experience. You ain't never feel so damn alone in your life. To you in the back of an ambulance at 1 a.m. being sent to a mental hospital against your will, and all you want to do is die. Like, And so I got to the mental hospital, and they started treatment. So at the mental hospital, did I have shoes? I think, yeah. I think because I was fine. Like, I had shoes, but I just walked around in my socks mostly. But I didn't have anything yet, so they like gave me some stuff. I was just kind of sitting in my clothes that I had from when I left. You are allowed to have electronics. You just have to check them in and out, like if you want to charge them, because you can't have cords in your room because you could kill yourself with cords. You can't have like the strings on your hoodie, and you can't have your hoodie up either. If you're wearing, okay, sorry about that, the camera cut. So yeah, they need to see your neck, because otherwise it's dangerous. You get meals 3 times a day. They're not good, bro. They're not good. But you can order anything you want, which is what I did, and you have visitation from 6 to 8. Or was it 4 to 8? From 4 to 8 you can have visitors. Not on the weekends though. So as soon as I went in, they have like there's a schedule every day they put on the board, and they'll have like little different group therapy things, which you can go to, but you don't have to go to, is the thing. But obviously, if you want to get out, you have to go to them. You have to show participation that you're trying to be better. And in the beginning, I kind of went like once, then I was like, nah, screw y'all, like I don't care. And each day you have somebody come to check in with you in the morning and in the night. Like, and they're like, how do you feel? Do you have any plans of hurting yourself? Like, and then like, you know, what are your plans here? Do you want to get out? Like this and that. And at first I used to fight them. I'd be like obviously not. But I would just be like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I don't want to tell you anything. So they'd be like, okay, well, do you want to hurt yourself? No. Then do you feel like you're in danger? No. Okay, and that's it. And they leave. You didn't always have to say anything, but like by not doing that, you're showing you're not trying to work with them. But I just remember in my first interview with the therapist and the psychologist and the psychiatrist that were going to be on my case, as well as the social worker, like they were like, okay, so like, how do you feel? And I'm just like I'm not gonna kill myself. Like, I'm not gonna try again because it failed twice. I'm done. Like, it was hard, but I was like, but that being said, I don't have any desire to live. Like, I'm not gonna try to kill myself, but I don't have a desire to live. I'm just here. Not up to me. Like, I'm just here. And they were like, okay. And they're like, okay, well, what do you think you have? And I was like, well, I have depression, anxiety. I'm like, I think I may have bipolar disorder because of the way because of, like, looking back over the course of my history in terms of, like, my actions based on emotion, like, I was like, I feel like I just feel like I might have a little bipolar disorder. So, like, okay, we'll test you. So they gave me, like, tests for that. And then there was, like, this big old packet I had to fill out. And then there was, like, a Rorschach, the ink blot, Jesus, the ink blot test. I had to do that thing, like, twice. I was like, this is annoying, because they're just like, why do you see this? I'm like, I don't know, like, that's just what it looked like to me. I'm like, do you see it? They'd be like, I don't know. And I'd be like, unhelpful. So I had to do all that. So I'm just, everything's so jumbled. All right, let's organize this better. I arrive, okay, in the middle of the night. Next day, they ask me how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, what I think I have, what's going on, just like what happened. I tell them I don't want to live. I'm not going to kill myself, but I don't want to live. I'm depressed, I have anxiety, I have trauma, I have this and that. I just don't want to fucking be here anymore. Don't want to do it. I don't want to do life anymore. I'm done. I'm tired. I tried. I lost. Let's move on. Try again. Reincarnation, round 2. Like, I was like, KO, fatality by life. Done. I was just like, I'm good. I'm so good. And so then they were like, okay, day 2 of being there. That's when my father and my stepmother and my sisters came to see me. They had stopped by my best friend and she'd given them a bunch of stuff. Because I still have my phone so I could text people, so I could tell them what to bring. They brought my blankets, clothes, toiletries, my laptop, books, my tablet. They brought my stuff. And then they said hello, and that was it. The day after that, I had my first meeting with, like, the therapist who took my tests to, see what I was, see what I had, what I was suffering from, what mental illness is, and then to get, like, the rap sheet of trauma, basically. Like, I had to sit there for, like, an hour or so and just say everything that had ever happened to me that was traumatic or bad or that could have led to these events, which was, wow. Like, when I said it all at once, I was like, huh. Why didn't I try to kill myself before? Like, when I say it all together, I was like, woof. Woof, woof, woof. That's a lot, y'all. Like, I had been domestically abused as a child, physically, and then emotionally. I've been bullied in middle school for my mom being lesbian. And then people just, like, ostracized me for no reason. Like, they played a game in the last year of, like, middle school to see how long they could go with nobody talking to me. They went for, like, 3 months. I'd been sexually assaulted as a child in elementary school. And then I was raped in high school. And then I was raped when I got to college when I was 19. And then on top of all that, I had depression, anxiety, and I suspected bipolar disorder. And I was alone, I had no family, and I felt like a burden to anybody I talked to. So, and I was estranged from my father. So when I said it all like that, I was like, wow. I'm a real one just for making it, to be honest. And then they were like, the therapist was just looking at me like, oh, oof. I was like, I know you ain't never dealt with someone like this before. And like, and so then they were like, okay, it's gonna take a few days for testing to go through. They were like monitoring my vitals a little bit to see if there was any lasting effects. There wasn't. They gave me meds for insomnia, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna try and find some depressants that will work for you, antidepressants that will work for you, keeping in mind bipolar disorder. So it was more like a mood balancer and an antidepressant, and it didn't do anything. So, like, I got that the 3rd day that I was there after I'd had the conversation with the therapist, and it didn't really do anything for me besides numb me out. My insomnia medication worked beautifully, though. Like, I had I could never fall asleep. Like, I'd just be staring because my mind wouldn't shut off. It would just go, 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 go. Thank you, anxiety. And insomnia was like, shh. And so I was like, oh. But, the antidepressant bipolar medication just made me feel numb. That was all it did. Like, I had no emotions. I was like, well, I guess this is better than nothing. But that was the issue with that. And then so we played around trying to find a medication that worked, and like they got one, but it still made me feel like kind of like heavy and like sluggish and a little numb. And so basically during the 2 weeks that I was there, they like mapped out a plan for me to go to therapy sessions each day, learn different skills, talk to people, and meet with therapists once every single day, to like have a personal session and go to group sessions. Like they were like, in order for you to leave, you're going to have to do this. Like, we're gonna need to see that you're trying, and you're gonna have to go. And I mean, I was like, okay. I mean, like, I haven't tried anything before. I'd never done it before, so. And let me say something about group therapy. That shit works. That shit works. Because my biggest thing was I just felt so fucking alone all the time. And just misunderstood and just sad. And then, like, you meet these people who put into words what you never could, who know exactly how you feel and validate you, and are just like, I felt that, like, I know how you feel, and like I needed that. I just needed some validation, and for someone to be like, I've been there, and that shit sucks, man. Like, for someone to just acknowledge it for me, you know, because I'd spent my entire life just putting duct tape over everything and never like thinking too long about it, and being told to fix my face if I looked sad, and to just push and hide and repress. And then I finally was able to just get some validation and just, you know, have my emotions not be pushed to the side, but like flushed out, and someone be like, I know how you feel, I know what you're going through. And they actually did. And it wasn't some bullshit, just be positive. It was like, nah, that shit sucks, man. I didn't know how I was ever gonna make it out of that. I still don't know. This is my 3rd time in this hospital. I'm just trying, like, to just be with people who are just going through it and they're just doing their best. Like, that is so motivating. And that was just the most beautiful part of being in that mental hospital. Like, there's also a really, really nice lead that I liked, who didn't push too much, and he asked the right questions to like make me think about things from different perspectives, and like he gave really, really good analogies for like ways of to think about our emotions. So I started doing this thing called like, what's the weather today? And I still do it. I used to like say it to people, but now I just do it to myself. But it's like, imagine that your heart or your mind is like the sky. Like, the sky is just the sky. It's just there, okay? But weather will happen. Rain, snow, sun, hurricane, cloudy, you know? But like, that weather isn't the sky. It's happening inside of the sky, but it's not the sky. The different emotions turmoiling through me and shit are not me. They're happening inside of me, and they can affect the way my day goes, but they are not me. And I can choose how I prepare for them. You can choose how you prepare for the weather. You can choose how you react to what you do, you know? But at the end of the day, you're just a sky. A beautiful blue, big expanse of sky, just calm. And so, like, I really liked that. So each day I was like, how's the weather? I started journaling. They helped me do some mindfulness practices, which I'm actually gonna do on the video for my detailing my mental illnesses. But like, one of them was creating a chart to show like the different symptoms of my anxiety and depression, and like how they escalate. And then you like, so you say like, what are the warning signs for each level? And then you say, okay, so what can I do at this level? Like, how can I help myself? Do I need to do some aromatherapy? Do I need a stress ball? Do I need to go sit in a warm, safe place, drink tea, listen to certain music, look at certain photos? Do I need a little therapy animal? She was asleep. You know, or do I need to reach out? Do I need to talk to someone about it? And like, breaking it down like that was actually really helpful to me, just because like I started realizing things that I'd never realized before about my anxiety and what it looks like and the physical tics that will come up. And like, it's really good to know what the beginning warning signs are so you can just cut that shit off right there and you don't reach crisis mode, you know? Like, so that was a really helpful chart. So I'm excited to do that with you guys on another video. And so like, after I got that validation from people, that's when I started to be like, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I want to leave. And like, also, like, the mental hospital is not a hotel. It's not meant to be a fun vacation. You get tired of being checked up on every 15 minutes, 24 hours around the clock. You get tired of not being able to charge your phone in your room, having to go to all these fucking group sessions and constantly say how you feel and constantly do vital signs and constantly be watched and poked and prodded physically and emotionally. Like, you get tired of it, alright? It's not supposed to make you want to stay. It's supposed to make you want to leave. And they did a great job of that. So eventually I got to create a plan where I did an outpatient program for women of trauma in Brookline. And I was like, okay, how soon can I be there? How soon can I leave? And they're like, it's gonna be another week because we have to do all this. Like, they wanted to keep me there for a month. And I was like, well, no, sir, it can't be me. So I worked with them. I talked with them every day. I cried a lot. I had never cried so much in my life, but I cried like every single night. I'm smiling, but it's just like, because it was catharsis. Like, I was sad. I was in it. I was in my emotions, and I was never been in my emotions before. I really didn't cry before then, unless it was by myself at night, like in the sheets quietly, so nobody would know or hear. I didn't cry in front of people, but then I cried in front of people. I cried in front of a therapist. I cried in front of the group. I cried when people came to visit. Carlos visited me every day during that. Like, that, I just cried. I was like, I'm sad, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sad. But, I made it through. And I really valued that time at the mental hospital. It did for me what nobody else could. It gave me that hope again, that I could do something with my life, that I could be someone, that I'm not alone, that shit is rough, and there's no guarantee if it'll get better, but like, everybody going through it, everybody going through something, you know? So that was just really nice for me. Don't ever want to go back. Don't get it twisted. I do not want to return, but I do value my time there. And they got me on some good medication when I left, and then I went to the outpatient therapy program. I wasn't working during this time. I was just going there. The outpatient therapy program was from 7 to 3, Monday through Friday. And I did that for 2 weeks, and then that was just another, you know, validation. It was cognitive behavioral therapy. It was mixed cognitive behavioral therapy, but also DBT, like dialectic behavioral therapy. I don't know. Ooh, I'll put that up maybe. But that was also very helpful. They gave me a lot of worksheets to do. But there's also like cool things like creative writing and music therapy and stuff like that, and crafts. And it just helped me like put words and names to the things I was feeling and to have actual concrete solutions to my issues, you know? It's one thing for someone to just be like, try to be positive and try not to let your emotions rule you. And it's another for someone to be like, you have a logical mind, you have an emotional mind. Our goal is to find the balance between the two. What are some things that look like logical mind? What are some things that look like emotional mind? And how do they play into your mental illness? You see like the difference? Like, one is just some BS fluff to make you feel better, and the other is like, here's an actual solution. Here's an actual game plan, you know? Like, shit sucks. What are we gonna do about it, you know? And being in the group therapy finally like gave me that extra push when I came up like the outpatient group therapy, because it was just like, okay, like some of the people were doing it and they were working, and it like before then it had never occurred to me to be like, to be honest to my boss or my coworkers about my mental illnesses, to say anything to people, because I was like, I don't have them. And I was always at war with acknowledging or accepting the fact that I even had a mental illness. So to be okay, so here's the last, I guess this is how I'm gonna conclude this video. I'm gonna link down below hotlines for people to call if you feel like you want to kill yourself, if you're feeling sad, you just need someone to talk to. You can also just email me. My email is open if you just need somebody to talk to, you just have some questions. I still struggle every day to find reasons to live. It's not like I went to a mental hospital and I was cured, or I did 2 weeks of outpatient therapy and suddenly everything's great. Like, nah, I'm still sad as shit. I still struggle. My anxiety's still here. He ain't gone away. Bipolar, she's still here. And I haven't been able to afford my medication for like the longest time, so I've been unmedicated. A dangerous game we play for the longest time. So like basically like things will get easier, but they're not gonna be perfect, and it's up to you, like how you want your life to change, what you're willing to do in order to find peace and happiness, you know. And like also don't be like me, don't just assume everybody don't care and everybody don't want to help you, you know. Like, I know it's hard, I know you may feel like a burden, but don't just count people out, you know. You gotta ask, you gotta try something. Your life is on the line, and you know, I'm gonna just make a big assumption here, but I'm gonna say that your life is worth it, and that your life is worth living, and that there's somebody out there who doesn't want you to die. Because I didn't think my life was worth living, but there's too many people I got pushing my ass up out the grave. There's too many people in my life that I don't want to make sad, that I want to live for, that I want to help, that I want to repay, you know. So if you don't want to live for yourself right now, live for others until you find that spark again, the love of life. It's not gonna be easy, but you know, like, has life ever been easy? Everybody got an issue. Even if it looks perfect on the outside, there's something going on the inside. I don't know. That's the end of my spiel. Basically, that's that. I don't know. I love you guys. I hope that everything is okay. And if it's not, I hope it gets better soon. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe. Comment down below if you've ever suffered from any mental illnesses, some things that have worked for you. You know, talk to each other in the comments. Help each other out, you know? Help me out. Shit, I don't know everything. Like, this is just my own personal experience. Yeah, and see you guys in my next video. What did